key part of Kaczynski's manifesto was that freedom wouldn't be taken violently. It would slowly and gradually be traded away for comfort and convenience in a way that wouldn't spark resistance. He said, quote, that the human race might easily permit itself to drift into a position of such dependence on the machines that it would have no practical choice but to accept all of the machines' decisions. Now we just passively accept tracking, surveillance, eating chemicals and food that just makes us completely dependent on it, where all our senses are manipulated every single day, where we waste hours and hours a day doing nothing but looking at random pixels on a screen. Often those who warn against this are marginalized, or people are just too distracted to even care about it, as this lifestyle numbs our ability to escape it. And yet it controls what we eat, who we date, what we think. And any dissent in the system is silenced not with violence but with demonetization and deplatforming. Kaczynski believed true freedom was incompatible with modern society. You either conform to the herd or get punished by having all of your fundamental needs of community, relationships, and connections severed. Where companies today are rewarded with trillions to hijack human psychology the best. He said, quote, thus the over-socialized person is kept on a psychological leash and spends his life running on the rails that society has laid down for him. The system will have to use any means that it can, whether psychological or biological, to engineer people to be docile, to have the abilities that the system requires, and to sublimate their drive for power into some specialized task. And to me, one of the most eerie warnings by Kaczynski was that of genetic engineering. And you only have to look at CRISPR to see what he's talking about. Now, CRISPR is a powerful new genetic engineering tool that works like molecular scissors to alter DNA. We even have designer embryos created in China at this point, where we are starting to see the manipulation of the human race to get better fit in modern society. This new technology aims to edit human nature for improvement, exactly what he feared. We see things like Neuralink, where AI chips will be implanted inside of our skull to make us better compatible with a digital world. He predicted that society would start curing illnesses with genetic tools, getting support and funding by helping humanity, and then subtly moving on to engineering docility, passivity, and most importantly, conformity. Quote, in the future, social systems won't be adjusted to suit the needs of human beings. Instead, human beings will be adjusted to suit the needs of the system. This industrial society, human beings are not ends in themselves, but tools just to serve the system. And the system survives by making people so dependent on it they cannot imagine living differently. Where we need chemical and genetic stimulation because of our degrading attention span, superficiality, and pacified nature. We seem to be going into a world straight out of WALL-E. We even did a whole video on this a couple years ago, as we are witnessing all of these giant societal processes taking us away from the natural essence of being a human and depressing our ability to live naturally and meaningfully. So of course, our mental health is naturally going to depress too. And yet we treat the symptoms of modern despair with pills, therapy, and just quick fixes, while actually ignoring the structural trauma of industrial society itself. Big Pharma has a huge interest in pushing SSRIs on anyone who'll take them. They've corrupted America to be able to sell this in adverts, putting untold amounts of resources to put pressure on doctors to prescribe their products and convince people this is totally normal. Quote, imagine a society that makes people miserable then drugs them to forget it. And it's literally getting so bad today that assisted taking your life in Canada is now even legal for depressed people. In March 2027, assisted voluntary ending of life will be available to those whose only condition is mental illness. May targets vulnerable people lacking social support. Healthcare workers are documented as suggesting MAID to those whose only problem is economic hardship, or simply those who just don't fit into the system well enough, literally taking away the life of those who are deemed undesirable in society. And if you look around you in 2025, no matter where you are, you're probably seeing all of these processes taking place subtly around you. Obviously, blowing people up doesn't awaken the world, it alienates it, and it's a terrible, unethical thing to do, as it makes this message way harder to digest. But it's clear as his warnings become truer and truer by the minute that it's going to inspire more people like Luigi Mangione to try and act out his message, which could just lead to more repression and disastrous consequences as a whole, as that's definitely not the solution. But the message from the Unabomber is clear. There are some very grave dangers coming from technology right now as we speak, that's affecting every single one of us subconsciously and consciously. And the more numb and comfortable we become in this system, the harder it is to change our own individual lives and escape it. If it weren't for the violence and madness, his manifesto would probably be taken a lot more seriously today. But only time will tell how long we have left to read his final words.